Guys, today I'm going to talk to you about a fragrance that's really tough to find, especially when it comes to the discounters. I'm talking about Lalique's Ombre Noire, this one right here. Are you familiar with this fragrance? Have you gotten your nose on it? Well, it's online exclusively at Lalique.com, so it's pretty much the only place I've been able to find it, and it's retail there for $139. But the folks over at FragranceBuy are now selling this at half the price of the suggested retail price of $65. So it's discounted there, and it's currently selling, and this is rarely found at the discounters, so this is your rare chance to get a bottle of Ombre Noire over there. So today I'm going to talk to you about Ombre Noire, what I think about it, how I first discovered it, and all that good stuff. And then at the end of the video I'm going to talk to you about some Formula 1 fragrances. I have some samples, and I had never heard about this house, and I'm going to tell you what I think about each of these 5 Formula 1 fragrances, first impressions on camera today. So if you're curious to learn about Ombre Noire and the Formula 1 fragrances, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian. Yes, today it's all about Lalique Ombre Noire and of course Formula 1 fragrances. I first heard about this fragrance when it first launched in 2017, but it was nowhere to be found anywhere. In fact, I believe it was a Middle East exclusive. I was looking, hunting everywhere. In fact, I asked the distributor for Lalique here in the States, who also distributes Bentley fragrances. They had no idea of what was going on for this one. I think they mentioned that it was exclusive somewhere. They didn't even know, but from the grapevine I had heard it was exclusively selling in the Middle East. Not sure why that had happened, but eventually by the time 2020 rolled around, earlier part, I was able to find a bottle pretty expensively online at some discounter, and I ended up buying a bottle, getting it, and doing a video on it with another very hard to find Lalique fragrance. So then later I was searching for the fragrance and I couldn't find it anywhere. I thought it was discontinued. It was gone forever. And I was like keeping my bottle for good. And then I did a video, and I do a lot of videos on discontinued fragrances where you guys should go seek them out and find them because they're great fragrances. I featured this fragrance in that video, and some of you said, no, it's not discontinued. It's exclusively selling on the Lalique.com website. So it is exclusively selling there for $139, and this is really difficult to find at discounters, but as I said, FragranceBuy currently has it for $65, and I have a link in the info box. You can go check it out. I think it's a great release, created by Karine Dubreuil-Sereni, launched in 2017. As I said, it's Eau De Parfum concentration from the Lalique house. And I just spoke about Karine Dubreuil-Sereni, if you guys recall. I did a review on Givenchy Gentleman's Society. She created that fragrance, but she's done some amazing fragrances, especially this one, and some fragrances for Gucci and so on. I believe lots of L'Occitane fragrances, and she did one for Mabusson, and great releases for men. I think she does a lot of like mass market releases that are really quality. Like she did Gucci Pour Homme 2, amazing fragrance that is discontinued, but a really great release. But Ombre Noire is all about figs for me, with booziness. So it features notes of fig leaves, peppermint for top notes. In the heart notes it has cinnamon bark, olibanum, papyrus, tobacco leaves. Finally in the base notes it's cognac, cedarwood, tonka beans. A lot of stuff here, not overwhelming with notes, but there's a lot of things happening here. For me, this is a rare fragrance with an fig leaf presence. It's very green for me with the touch of the booziness from the cognac. So it creates for a very interesting bitterness that it's not uber bitter, because fig leaves for me in fragrances has an overabundance of bitterness with the green touches, but here it kind of like tones it down and adds a bit of sweetness. For me, this also has a lot of cinnamon. The cinnamon shines, and this is around the time when I'm thinking this kind of reminds me a little bit of a Bentley for Men Intense. So there is that kind of thought in there, not necessarily identical, but with the booziness here and then the cinnamon and some of the resins, I feel like it does kind of go there but not quite get there, So cinnamon is pretty prominent here. The peppermint also comes in to give it that kind of herbal touch, bit camphoric. And then papyrus with its smokiness, olibanum with its incensey touches. And I think all these with the tobacco kind of lightly hints at Bentley for Men Intense. Again, they're so different because that fig leaf in here is so prominent that it makes it different, but then you think, okay, yeah, this does have kind of similarities to Bentley for Men Intense. Eventually the booziness completely takes over. This is cognac here. Really enjoy cognac in fragrances, but once again the fig leaf is so prominent for me, it doesn't really go away. It kind of stays in the background where the cognac is dominating, and you've got the smoky touches, the grassy touches, the tobacco-ish nuances and touches as well. And finally the fragrance settles to a woody base, and a really wonderful designer release. This is after after all, a great designer release. I'm happy that FragranceBuy has it available at the discounters. Again, when I put together that discontinued fragrances video, I couldn't find it anywhere. In fact, when I was searching for it, the Lalique website didn't even come up, so they don't have their SEO working properly or something, because I couldn't find the fragrance anywhere. That's why I featured it in that video, until some of you said, yeah, it's on Lalique's website. For $139 suggested retail, but yeah, $65 for this, I think it's a great price. And Lalique does some great men's fragrances. I think it's probably one of my favorite designer houses, and they're unique fragrances. They don't smell like every other designer fragrance that's selling at Macy's, which I can't stand. They all smell like the same amber wood, aquatic, woody, aromatic thing. So this is very original smell in its smell, and you won't smell like everybody else. You know, you've got that booziness, the fig leaves. I think it's a very original fragrance for Lalique, and hopefully they'll launch it a little more mass, not make it exclusive. But in the meantime, FragranceBuy has it, as I said, for $65. So that's what I have to tell you about Ombre Noire. If you guys don't know about it, go check it out on FragranceBuy. And FragranceBuy did send me a bottle. They did send me a bottle, but I already have my own bottle I had bought back then. And they said, it's available, can you do a video about it? And I said, of course I will, because I really love the fragrance, and I thought all along it was discontinued. So I'm happy to tell everyone that it's available now for $65. So I should also say, I have bought a few things from FragranceBuy. I think actually ended up buying one Dior Homme Parfum bottle there, and as I had signed up to be notified. So if you like fragrances, they're really nicely discounted over there. And if there's something like Dior Homme Parfum there and you want a bottle, sign up and make sure you're watching your emails, because they'll notify you. I don't know if they notify you with text, but with email is what I think how I got notified. And I instantly went there and I bought a bottle. It's like you can't buy more than one bottle, but I was able to buy a bottle there. So I bought a few fragrances in the past, and I feel like now that they've got this fragrance, and now that they have all these different fragrances that come there, and you can get a chance to buy them discounted, I think it's a great place to shop for fragrances. So anyway, those are my thoughts on Ombre Noire. Let me know if you're a fan of this fragrance. Have you gotten your nose on it? And have you been wanting to buy a bottle? Put a comment down so I can find out. So now on the second part of this video, let's talk about the Formula 1 fragrances. This is going to be quick first impressions. I know nothing about these fragrances. I do know I was looking up the fragrances, and I went to the website and, you know, listed their ingredients and things like that, and noticed that all the perfumers are part of Symrise. So I believe Formula 1 reached out to Symrise perfumers, and they created fragrances for all the fragrances for this series of fragrances. So the first one I'm going to talk to you about is Overtake. It's in the red bottle. I have to say that the bottles are just really beautiful bottles. Great design work. So this is a Emilie Coppermann fragrance. And the notes are cinnamon leaf, vanilla, pink pepper, metal pepper accord, vetiver, patchouli, guaiac wood, tonka beans, and geranium. So let's check this one out and see how it is, if I can find the place to spray from. It seems like it's going to be a spicy offering. Cinnamon is one of my favorite spicy notes. It's very warm, spicy. This is reminding me of Zadig and Voltaire's This Is Him a little bit. It's got cinnamon, but I feel like there's incense here, and I feel like it's the metal pepper accord. Pepper or black pepper and incense kind of, you know, confuse me. Like sometimes they smell like one another. So I'm getting kind of an incensey touch here. But it seems like it's a nice, warm, spicy, woody, vanillic fragrance. So this definitely is the first time I'm smelling this, and I think it's definitely a wearable fragrance. Really beautiful, very warm, spicy, as I said. So the next one I'm going to talk to you about, Carbon Rain. It's this one. Again, the bottles are here, but I'll flash photos on here. Carbon Rain is Pierre-Constantin Gueros is the perfumer. It features notes of pink pepper, geranium, patchouli, amber, petitgrain, lavender, violet leaves, timut pepper, vetiver. So this seems like an aromatic, masculine, herbal, you know, woody fragrance. At least it sounds like it's masculine. This to me is not my favorite fragrance, sadly. It smells, I was just complaining about how a lot of men's fragrances smell similar. That is exactly what I'm talking about. It smells like a very mass market men's fragrance that I would find at Macy's. So that one, sadly, I don't care for whatsoever. I would not buy it. But the first one, I think it's a really nice designer release for the price point. I think it's great, which is on the FragranceBuy website. So the next one is Precious Mettle, METTLE. So this one is Louise Turner. I do like her fragrances. I think she's done some fragrances for Tom Ford. This features notes of leather, moss, woody notes, amber, vetiver, patchouli, mandarin, pink pepper, and lavender. So let's see how this one is. This one is a bit subdued. I'm liking the moss note in here. I really enjoy moss and oak moss. This one actually needs time to develop, whereas the first one really took on like its strong notes, the cinnamon and vanillic notes. This seems a bit subdued. It might need my skin to kind of come alive, but I'm digging this one. This one smells nice. I just think it needs some time. Okay, the next one is Neum White. I think that's how you say it. This is created by Eleanor Messonnier, another perfumer I know. She does a lot of Memo Paris and Floricu fragrances. This is iris, juniper berries, leather, clary sage, lavender, tonka lactone, narcissus, vetiver, black pepper. I like that, tonka lactone. So is it going to be milky? Tonka lactone meaning tonka milk? Let's see. Seems like it's going to be powdery though. Ooh, this is nice. This is quite nice. Although, no, this is nice actually. It's powdery, it's like very aromatic and powder together. And there's something like creamy under there, like really creamy. I feel like the notes are a little all over the place, like narcissus and, you know, all these interesting notes. It's settling down to not exciting for me, sadly, but I like the first blast. So we'll see how that develops. But so far, the first and the third are really good, followed by the fourth one. And then finally, we've got Turn 1, this one right here. And this is a fragrance created by Fabrice Pellegrin. Well, I should take that back about Symrise Perfumers. He's a Firmenich perfumer, Fabrice Pellegrin. So maybe they did not use all Symrise perfumers. Maybe they're not all Symrise perfumers. I should take it all back. This has Angela flower, which is what's written on the sample, but I believe they're referring to Angelica, mandarin orange, oak moss, vibrant woods, aromatic accord, violet leaves, patchouli. This one's a bit subdued as well, but I can totally pick out the violet leaves. And it's powdery. Angelica flower is definitely powdery and vegetal, and I do like this one. I like this one. So I would say this is number 2, tied with the one that Louise Turner created, this Precious Metal. I did not care for the Carbon Rain. That smells like I already smelled a lot of men's fragrances like that. I think everything else is good, except the Neum White is kind of drying down to not be quite pleasant. I should wear it on my skin to try it. But I think my favorite is the Overtake 320. I like the warm spiciness and vanillic touches. Anyway, hopefully if I get bottles I can do follow-up and do actual videos and talk more in length about those fragrances. This is just definitely a quick first impressions of these fragrances. But let me know if you've tried these fragrances. They are selling currently at FragranceBuy. You can go catch the links in the info box to check them out. And that's about it. Hopefully you'll let me know what your thoughts are on Ombre Noire. Are you a fan of Lalique fragrances? Have you worn it? Are you going to take advantage of this discount? Because I'm sure it'll sell out really quickly. As I said, those are not selling at discounters. It's hard to find them. They're exclusively selling on Lalique.com for $139, so half the price is a great price. Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.